We're consuming Washington, D.C., certainly New York and beyond. So tell us what was happening inside the White House as these excerpts, these explosive excerpts from insiders were leaking out. What was happening inside?
Well, we had the Post publish the excerpts around noon, Allison, and at first there didn't seem to be much of a concerted response. But as the afternoon went on, you saw the president direct his administration to mount a far more aggressive response. You saw pushback from James Mattis, the defense secretary, chief of staff John Kelly, Sarah Sanders. A number of officials said, put out statements essentially denying what was said by them in the book. What was happening in the Oval, though, was the president was very angry that so many people had participated in this book. So many of his current and former advisors had given Bob Woodward seemingly hours of time. And secondly, that he himself did not participate. The president believes that he is his own best messenger. He can charm anyone. And he was very frustrated that Kellyanne Conway and others around him did not bring the opportunity to him aggressively to get his cooperation in the book.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because one of the most fascinating elements of all of this is this audio tape that Bob Woodward recorded with President Trump. There was a phone call between the two of them. Bob Woodward recorded it,
right,
and it was him saying how disappointed he was that President Trump hadn't participated, and President Trump saying, I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know. Nobody brought it to me. Bob Woodward then says, well, Kellyanne Conway, I spoke to Kellyanne Conway, and I asked her to bring it to you. And President Trump says, I didn't know anything about it. And at that moment, Kellyanne Conway walks into the Oval Office and is confronted by President Trump about this. So let's listen to a snippet of that moment.
He said that he told you about speaking to me, but you never told me. Why didn't you tell me?
Remember 2.5 months ago you came over and I laid out, I wanted to talk to the president, and you said you would get back to me?
I do, and I put in the request. But, you know, it was rejected. I can only take it so far.
Okay, so Josh, the president now says that he would have wanted to participate. So what's your reporting on what was happening behind the scenes there?
Well, there were a number of startling moments in that call, Allison. One, that Kellyanne Conway, who has access to the Oval Office and is often in there, ostensibly did not tell the president, that a number of his staff did not tell him. You hear him say in the call, some of them are scared of me. They don't tell me things. They're scared of me. And that the president, a number of people who speak for him, he says in the call, I don't really talk to them. It was one of those calls where the president, for minutes and minutes and minutes, droned on about how frustrated he was that he wasn't interviewed, that he didn't know about it, that you can just call my office. He seems to work under this perception that anyone can just call the president's office and they just patch him through and talk to the president, and that's not really how the White House works. But you hear kind of a gnawing anger in his voice that he's saying, I've had several books written about me that I thought were very negative. Michael Wolff's Fire and Fury, the Omarosa Manigault Newman book, and this is going to be another bad book. And Bob Woodward says, I have hundreds of hours of tapes. I've talked to almost everyone around you. And the president's first reaction is, okay, so it's going to be another bad book.
Yeah, but maybe.